Zack Tipton puts a new spin on records nobody listens to anymore. But his vinyl isn't for the ears, but for the eyes. Vinyl eyeglass frames. They're in the groove, literally. The models carry famous names from music: Jackson, Lennon and Miles. They're visual aids and sun protection. They're the recycled frames of the Vinylize brand, and they're more than just a fashion statement.
Every time somebody puts on the frame, they know what they're wearing, and I hope it makes them behave in a more environmentally responsible fashion, you know, and when they think that something that they're wearing is inspired by that, then it'll influence their behavior.
Zack Tipton's studio in Budapest is stacked full of old phonograph records. When laminated and cut out with a jigsaw, they become eyeglass frames. Every frame is made here by hand, just as the first model was in the year 2000.
I wanted to make some frames out of a different material than metal, and I was in the workshop and I kind of looked over in the corner and I saw my father's record collection, and I was like, aha, why don't I just try making them out of that? And I took a couple and glued them up and cut them out, and then that's how the idea was born.
Zack Tipton grew up in the United States, but since 2004 he's been designing and producing in Hungary, his mother's home country. Now he's got 15 employees to help him. He finds his raw material in various record stores around the Hungarian capital. Zack Tipton is also a record collector in private. For his eyewear, he generally takes the leftover stock on the bottom shelf.
If it's not coming from here, it'll come from old distributors that went out of business. They couldn't sell the records, the market collapsed, factories went out of business, and they can't send them back for recycling. So these are tens of thousands of records just sitting in warehouses.
A few hardcore vinyl fans tend to view Tipton's designs with scepticism.
I'm not too keen on it. I like records, and I think records should be listened to, or maybe hang them up on a wall. I find it a bit morbid to make things out of them.
Other music fans are enchanted with the idea. Among them, Elton John, Hollywood star Michael Madsen, rapper Flo Rida, the band 30 Seconds to Mars, and American movie director Quentin Tarantino. Music stars are both customers and inspiration for the frames.
What we like to do is just take a musician and examine the history that he lived in, what kind of style he wore, or if we were to make Jimi Hendrix a frame, how would that frame look? Would Jimi Hendrix wear this, or would Jim Morrison wear this frame?
Irish singer-songwriter Bono has ordered a set of frames. Zack Tipton picked out a very special record as his raw material.
It's a vinyl that was pressed in the 70s, and he went to this concert that collected funds for Amnesty International, and he attended this in June of 1979, and the research I did showed that he was very influenced by this.
Zack Tipton's company sells as many as 500 frames a month to customers from around the world. The frames start at €300. The cases, also made of vinyl, are included, and a spectacle stand.
Sometimes people get really upset because of the cultural damage. Hey, you're destroying great music, and what about these artists and all that? But people have to realize that just like books or anything that society creates, not every one of them is going to be a masterpiece culturally. Not every book is going to become a classical piece. Same with vinyl.
Zack Tipton has found a lucrative new use for old and unwanted vinyl, and given a whole new meaning to the word groovy.